Hello, today we are doing lesson 2. So we're looking at real world positive and negative numbers and zero. So they want us to read this and they want us to write down any words and definitions you know in the first column and any that you do not know in the second column. So what we're going to end up doing is I'm going to read this, I'm going to highlight the words, and then we're going to talk about the words. And you can take notes on your own, but I'm not going to take these notes since this is more of a what you know, what you want to know, and what you learned. So for Tim's 13th birthday, he received $150 in cash from his mom. His dad took him into a bank to open a savings account. Tim gave the cash to the banker to deposit the money into the account. The banker credited Tim's new account $150 and gave Tim a receipt. 1 week later, Tim deposited another $25 that he earned as an allowance. The next month, Tim's dad gave him permission to withdraw $35 to buy a new video game. Tim's dad explained that the bank would charge a $5 fee for each withdrawal from the savings account, and that each withdrawal and charge resulted in a debit to the account. Okay, so we have some words. We have received. So if you're receiving money, that means you're getting money, right? Yes. So a savings account, that's where you put money to keep it safe. So received, that would be positive. Deposit, if you deposit money into your account, that's a positive. You're increasing the money in your account. The banker credited his account. That means they added, so that's positive. And gave him a receipt. So a receipt, you get a receipt when you buy something, you get a receipt when you deposit money. It just shows a transaction of some sort. 1 week later, Tim deposited, so we already talked about that word deposit, another $25 allowance. So some of you probably get an allowance, some of you don't. Then he got permission to withdraw money. So if you're withdrawing money, that's a negative because you're taking that out of your account. And a fee is an extra charge, and that's also negative. And then a debit is negative. So a credit is positive, a debit is negative. And we have these different positive and negative numbers. Okay, so we pretty much did number 1 on that page. Write each individual description below as an integer. So remember, an integer is a positive or negative number, and model it on a number line using an appropriate scale. So opening a bank account was $0. So our integer would be 0. And our scale, I could just do counting by ones. I'll put a dot on 0. Make a $150 deposit. So on that previous side, I said that deposit was a positive number. So I would just write 150. And we'd have 50, 100, 150. So when I make a number line, I don't always have to have 0 in the middle. I don't always have to start with 0. I can start wherever, as long as I'm consistently counting by the same number. So up here I was counting by ones, but here I'm counting by 50s. I could have counted by 25s. I could have counted by 2s. I could have counted by 1s. But I chose to count by 50s. I'll put my dot on 150. Okay, so credit the account. So if we go and look back at the other page, a credit, that was a positive number. So 150, just like we did before. This time, let's count by tens. I'm going to start at 150. Okay, so there's lots of different ways you can make your number line look and have it be correct. Okay, so a deposit, that's another positive number. And we'll count by fives. I do 3 numbers just because that shows you what we're counting by. You can do more, but I would not do any less than 3. Okay, the bank makes a charge of $5. That means they're charging you $5, so that'd be a -5. So we'll have 0, 5. The opposite of 5 is -5. Tim withdraws $35. So that'd be -35. So I'm going to do -25, -30, and -35. Alright, next page. Temperature is commonly measured using one of 2 scales, Celsius or Fahrenheit. In the U.S., the Fahrenheit system continues to be accepted standard for non-scientific use. All other countries use Celsius as the primary scale in use. The thermometer shows how both scales are related. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Where is 100 degrees Celsius located on the thermometer to the right? So it is above 0, but is it on here? Is 100 degrees Celsius on this thermometer? No, because Celsius is on the right-hand side. So it is not on thermometer. On a vertical number line, describe the position of the integer that represents 100 degrees Celsius. So that would be 100 units above 0. Write each temperature as an integer. The temperature is shown on the thermometer in degrees Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit is on the left-hand side, and it's all the way up at 100. So that'd be 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And they want to know what that would be in Celsius. So Celsius, it's on this mark, and they're counting by, if they're taking 5 to get from 30 to 40, they'd be counting by 2. So that would be 38 degrees Celsius. And the freezing point of water in degrees Celsius, they tell us right on there, it'd be 0 degrees Celsius. And if somebody tells you your body temperature is 98.6 degrees, what scale is being used and how do you know? So is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? Well, Celsius, we know 100 degrees is the boiling point of water. Are you almost boiling? No. So it'd be Fahrenheit because water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And does the temperature 0 degrees mean the same thing on both scales? No. Celsius is freezing point. And Fahrenheit is below freezing. Okay, this next page you're doing on your own. It's like the first 2 pages we did where you're talking about money. And then there's the problem set that's talking about money, points in a game, and